Out of Princeton, Kentucky, and Caldwell County, Kentucky. Check it out at tadlad.com. And here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast. Watch that patchy fog this morning, mainly before 9. Should dissipate later on. Otherwise cloudy today, a high 39. Chance of rain before midnight. Could turn to snow. We could see a little bit mixed in. Low 32. Then fog and snow flurries early tomorrow, mixing with rain and turning to just rain after lunch, a high 40. Any accumulation would be light in nature. And then chance of rain and snow Wednesday night. Should be ending by midnight, low 29. And partly sunny on Thursday, a high near 42. Again for today, patchy fog. There's some out there this morning on your morning commute. Be careful. Should dissipate. Otherwise cloudy today, a high 39. It is 30, cloudy and fog at WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Big John's Barbecue.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband. He lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went, and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me. Makes me cry.
Oh my, a touching story. So what are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. That's right. Weight loss seminar Tuesday, February 25th at the Wyndham Garden, formerly the Holiday Inn in Hopkinsville. Time is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Registration begins at 5 p.m. Stop smoking seminar starts at 8 p.m. Registration starts 7:30 p.m.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And Tess and Ty, and of course, Coffee Talk. Time for Coffee Talk still. And maybe we'll ask Ty about dissipating. He's got the big words that he's pulling out today.
That's a weather term, basically.
You know I wasn't going to let that go, right?
Term. No.
Dissipating.
Fog dissipates.
I'm telling you, I'm proud of you today, mister.
Well, you know, that Murray State education paying off, I guess.
Somewhere around here, there's an English teacher listening going, looky there, I taught him that.
Well, I can butcher it just as bad. So.
You really didn't think I was going to let that go, right?
Well.
I'm just saying. Hey, if you like, I would like to segue between dissipate and something, but I can't figure it out. Trice Hughes is a great place to head to.
Definitely.
They've got this Jeep over in the corner that cherry red, just beautiful. I'm dying to go stick it in the mud, and I bet I could find some mud this morning.
Did you say you were a stick in the mud?
No, I said I want to stick in the mud.
Oh, okay.
It's a gorgeous 4x4. It's this Jeep that's sitting over there that's taunting me, but there's a whole parking lot full that taunts me over there.
I can see a whole bunch of them over there.
Oh, you talk any if you're looking for something that'll the midlife crisis, they've got that too in several different colors. You could go over there and go 100 miles an hour. I mean, you talk about some gorgeous cars.
Don't encourage lawlessness.
You've also got the family vehicles over there. You've also got the pickup trucks if you want to work with that. You've got SUVs. I mean, anything from soccer moms to farmers to,
You know what else they got? They got a first-class service department.
Yes, they do.
Treat you like a king or a queen when you roll in there, and they take care of your vehicle.
That. I'm glad you mentioned that, because the other day, they had fixed a little something on mine, and the service guy saw me at the gas station the other day, and he goes, "Hey, how's that doing? Everything doing all right with it?"
There you go.
And I love that you can see somebody 2 or 3 weeks later, the guy that worked on your car, and he's like, "Hey, wait a minute, is that still doing okay? How's it going?" So I thought that was really neat, and I sure do appreciate it.
Parts people are friendly, body shop's awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
hey, I don't know how you can go wrong. It's from the beginning all the way to the end, and then after you get it home too. So make sure that you go over there. If you'd like to check out what they've got, TriceHughesGM.com. They've got their entire selection there, and if they don't have what you're looking for, maybe you don't like that color. I don't want that color. I want bright canary yellow. Well, maybe they don't have that. They'll find it. They'll find it for you. Whatever you're wanting, they can absolutely find it. All you got to do is call them. polka dots, it doesn't matter. You can call them, and they're going to find it, and they're going to tell you how to get it over there. All you got to do is give them a phone call and answer a couple of questions about what you're looking for, and they will take it from there. Again, it's Trice Hughes. It's right here in Princeton. Very easy to find, right here across
Highway 91?
our windows. Highway 91 North in Princeton. And, of course, don't miss out on their deal of the week, which is a 2018 Buick Regal. 13,000 miles, $269 a month, man. That's awesome. 72 months. See Trice for details. And they want your business, so give Trice a try.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to Coffee Talk. And we welcome George Kilgore from First Baptist Church, the Senior Adult Ministry. And welcome to the studio this morning, George.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm going to tell you what, he's hard to get a hold of. He is the busiest man I've ever met in my life.
I'm a traveling man.
Well, it keeps me out of trouble. I think part of it, I get run out of town enough that I'm just on the road.
We love George, but tell him why you're out on the road, though. It's for a good reason.
Yeah, different things. Of course, I drive a charter bus part-time. I'm out doing that a lot. The other is with our senior adult ministry at First Baptist Church. We stay active, and we have a lot of activities going on. We try to do something each month, and I'm just here today to kind of share some of the things we've got planned and just kind of a little bit about our program and what we try to do.
I think that's so cool, though, because I do. I think that is the key to, living long and happy lives is staying active. My grandmother used to say, if you sit down, you're going to stay down.
Exactly.
So you need to get up and move.
And what I found that senior adults are just like everybody else. You may think, well, they just don't want to do anything. That's wrong. They love doing things. When I say we, I'm getting at that age where I'm right in there with them now.
Okay, I'm going to tattle on myself because my kids even said, well, Mom, now that's show prep. We were sitting around the living room and we're watching TV, and there was a couple of ladies that happened to be, in the mix on this thing. And I said, oh, yeah, they asked which ones. And I said, oh, it's the old ladies. And about 10 minutes later, she goes, yeah, she's in her 40s. And I was like, whoa, I just called myself old, So, I'm right there with you.
I can beat that. In about a month and a half, I'm going to turn 60.
Oh, my goodness.
So, that our age group is moving into the senior. That's a big one coming up. But our senior adults at First Baptist, we look at 55 and up. So, you don't have to be old to be a part of it, but we say 55 and up.
I'm getting close.
Getting close to that. But the good thing about it, or one thing we really try to promote, is not just for First Baptist people, it's for the community. And we look at it as a ministry to reach out to, first of all, share the love of Christ. He says to go, and that's what we want to do. We want to reach out to everybody in our community, and we do have a strong input from different churches. We've got people that don't really go to church much that are traveling with us, going on our activities. People from other communities that have heard about it and a part of it. And like I said, we want to reach out and provide an affordable way for people to travel. We don't make anything on our trips we take. We figure out what it costs to do, and that's what we charge for it, because I've had some people even mention that, said, well, we looked at a trip kind of like this through a tour company. I said, well, they're probably doubling the price to make profit on that. But we want it to be affordable and where everybody can be a part of it. And as long as there's space available, anyone and everyone's welcome to come and be a part of our activities.
Well, and the social aspect of that, too. Emotionally, that is so good for, I don't care how old you are. It's good to socialize with other people that are like-minded in a safe environment that you can just, hang out and have a good time.
Exactly. And we do have, several married couples that go, but I guess the majority would be widows, people that have lost their spouses. And our last few trips, we have some widowers that have started going with us. And we encourage that because, it's a time in life where sometimes it can be lonely. Sometimes you feel not included and no one to do things with. But this is a great support group. And I know we've got some activities coming up that we have some new people already signed up to go that have recently lost a spouse. And we want to encourage that. But it's just a good safe way to go travel. Whenever you travel with us, we take you to the door and let you out. You don't have to. Someone said we don't have to worry about where we're going, what we're eating, or anything. We just get on the bus and ride.
That's what retirement's supposed to feel like, though, right?
It is. It is. I'll give you a report on. I haven't talked to you since we done our Christmas trip.
Right.
That was kind of a report on that. We went to Memphis for our Christmas. We had a total of 68 people that made that trip. That was a record-breaking group for us. And I did realize and find out the more people you have, it's more challenging to plan stops and all, because it just takes longer to get on and off the bus and keep everybody together. But it was a great experience. We went for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday to Memphis. Started out by doing the Civil Rights Museum, and I noticed on Facebook some posts from some of the people that went on Martin Luther King Day today. They posted some pictures they made there and said, it just come back to life more. A lot of this age group lived that and lived through it,
right.
And it was kind of a scary time, and they mentioned that while we was there, but to be able to see that firsthand. And then we spent the day, half a day, a little more in Graceland.
You have to if you go to Memphis. Come on now.
Yes, and again, this age group lived through. That was the king at that time of rock and roll. So, just interesting things. We went to Bellevue Baptist Church for their Christmas program, and I would recommend that to anybody. It's kind of like a Broadway presentation, and it's an amazing experience to go to. They went back there for worship on Sunday, but again, just the way the group grows together, it's a wonderful support group that people that you can run into in the community or through social media and just communicate with and have that group that you're a part of, and we're thankful for that, to have that.
And to be honest, supporting each other, there's something to be said for the sharing of information as well and helping each other with it.
Yes.
Because, I'm guilty of it. I know Ty's guilty of it. Oh, we all are. We get so busy, and, grandkids get so busy with that schedule. We need to slow down every once in a while and take the time, because a lot of times we're running constantly, and it's like we just seem like we never have time.
One other thing that's been really a blessing to everybody that's been a part of it. As we grow older, we've had more experiences and have been through some things. We have some times on our trips when we just share that and talk about how good God is and how He's brought us through things. And we all have our issues and our troubles we go through, but to hear someone else talk about what they've been through and how God has carried them through it is just and it's an encouragement as well as a blessing for someone who's lost a family member, whether it be a spouse, a child, or financial issues, or just problems that everyday life brings us. And to hear people share about how that their faith and their trust in God has carried them through that, it's an inspiration, and it's an encouragement to hear, hey, I'm not the only one that's been through that. They've survived it, and everyone's so good about reaching out saying, we'll help you. If you're going through any of this, just let us know, and we'll try to work through that. But again, it's not anything anybody's forced to. It's you can just sit back and listen. You can share if you want to, but you don't have to. So that's been a really integral part of our activities.
Really becomes its own little family, really. I guarantee you, because when you get a certain bond when you travel with people.
Exactly. So during the winter months, this time of year, we try to not plan anything big activities because the weather could cancel us out at any time. This coming Thursday, we have an outing to Pennyrile Park. On Thursdays, they have a senior lunch and bingo over there. And we've been several times, kind of during this time of year. And first of all, the meal is delicious. It's a buffet meal, eat all you want, and you pay for your meal, and then you get to play bingo for about an hour afterwards. And they give away prizes, whether it's a meal to their restaurant, or sometimes they do stays there, or golf stuff, or just various prizes they give through the bingo. And it's just a fun time. You go eat, you get full, and you just sit there and play bingo for a while. I think I've got over 50 signed up to go to that. And we got some, like as I mentioned earlier, we got some new folks that's interested in going with us. But it just getting out and going. That's a very simple thing. We're going to leave at 10:15 and go over. The lunch starts at 9. No, I'm sorry. It's $9 a person. That's where my 9 come from. The lunch starts at 11 o'clock. But all that's for $9 a person is what they charge to do that.
And the bingo's free.
And the bingo's free with that.
It's a great way to get their feet wet too, and kind of go on a short trip instead of being stuck in a bus with for 2 or 3 days or whatever. Go on the short trip first and see how everything is.
How long a trip is that, George?
Well, we leave at 10:15. We'll be back between 2:30 and 3.
There you go.
Just the midday, just over and back. And
I'm a little jealous. I'm too young to go, to be honest.
But it's just getting together and doing things. And then in February, we're having a Valentine's senior lunch at our church on Sunday the 16th. And because in our church, we've got several of our senior adults that, for some of them are still working. They can't go on to the other activities, that are not able or haven't got involved in traveling with us. But we want all of our senior adults there, especially in our church, to feel like they're a part of our ministry. So we're just going to have a lunch. Our kitchen crew's going to fix up maybe some soup and chili, and just have a lunch after church in the CLC. Our youth is going to serve that. So all they have to do is come in and sit down. The youth will come and ask them what they want and bring it to them. And anyone 55 and older is welcome to do that. And I know a lot of our people that's active in our traveling group go to churches other places and won't be able to make that, but if they can, they're certainly welcome. But we're trying to really encourage our church members to come and to be a part of this. Just say, hey, you're an important part of our church. We love you. And if they have some questions about what we do on our activities, that's great. We can share that with them. But that's on Sunday the 16th.
Cool.
Just Valentine's We Love You lunch.
Well, and with that age group too, a lot of them are on fixed income. So
yes.
When you talk about being able to travel, without something like this, it would be hard to afford to be able to do very many things throughout the year travel-wise.
Oh, exactly. And as I mentioned, we just, the lunch we're having, it doesn't cost anything. We're just providing that for those. But our activities we do when we're traveling, it's just what it costs us. I do have a budget through the church that we work with that assist our members in some financial break on that. But it doesn't cost any less. The church just picks up part of their expenses for the church members. But the actual cost that it costs us is what we charge for the guests, as we say. But when we go back to it, nobody's really a guest. We're all a part of the group.
Well, I was going to say, I bet since you've been doing this, George, I bet you've really seen some really neat things and gotten a blessing out of it, because those of us that have always that have either traveled together, or you might not know somebody when you first start the trip, but by the end, everybody is together. Everybody's friends. There are people that are, like I said, I'm sure they do maybe will be more like opening up about some of their life experiences by the time the trip is over, because they have bonded.
Yes.
And what a wonderful thing. They bond not only just on the trip, but they bond. I mean, breaking bread together and talking and experiencing that, it's got to be wonderful.
And I've noticed in the last few months, you'll see, again, go back to social media, you'll see on Facebook where this group has just got together and went out on their own to eat lunch. Some of our traveling groups, some of them from out of town will come in at various places. And it's never the same group, it's just different ones, because they enjoy each other's company. And just go to a restaurant somewhere in town or meet somewhere and just have lunch to kind of catch up and visit. So that's the kind of friendships and support groups it does.
Well, you guys went to the Ark this year too, right?
Well,
I guess it was last year.
We will talk about the Ark.
So I was going to wonder. I was going there because
the
it's coming
Ark
up probably.
actually was a kind of a different trip for us. It was a church-wide trip. It wasn't just for the senior adults, but I got asked to put that together, and there had been some interest in our children's department about taking the children up, but as everybody knows, schedules are so crazy. Mm-hmm. Sports are all year long, and so,
I'm sorry.
and which is good, but at the same time, it's hard to plan things for children or youth to do. So the idea was, hey, see if we can do a church-wide, and maybe we can get some families to go. So we looked at the week after Christmas, thinking school's out, and we had I think we had we had 50 something to make that trip also that went, but it was church wide. And the great thing about that, you've seen everything from 6, 7-year-olds through up 70,
The pictures
80.
were great.
Yes, and to see the age groups mix and mingle, I just sat back and watched. You'd see some senior adults sitting somewhere, and then you'd see some of the youngers, or even the couples coming up and talking to them, which they would have never had that experience or that opportunity to do. So that went great. And it's kind of a long day to go up to the Ark and back in one day, so we broke it up. If you want to go the day before, we'll take one of our buses and go up and spend the night close by the Ark, where you can spend the night and be fresh to do the Ark. The other group can ride up together. And we had different ages do both. And so it was a real unique experience. It was a good experience for us. And when we got back, there was a lot of interest in maybe doing something else again later on as a church-wide activity. But yeah, the Ark was another activity we did. Next, after February, in March, we're going to hear the Collinsworth family at the Carson Center.
That's going to be good.
They, if you've never heard this group, we've seen them at the National Quartet Convention before. It's a family, and they are extremely talented. The mother plays the piano. It is amazing. And what our age group really likes about it, they do a lot of the older songs. And, they have other instruments they play. They sing harmony. One I posted on our Facebook page was at Calvary recently, where they just sang harmony at Calvary. And when I say our new bus, our big bus that we got, our retired school bus holds 56 people. And so whenever they announced that they was going to be at the Carson Center, called and reserved 56 tickets. We have a waiting list now. We've already filled that. And I would encourage, if we have enough on the waiting list to schedule a second bus, I'm fine with that to do. Now, the tickets may not be with the original group, but I talked to them yesterday, and we can still get tickets to go. And even for anyone that's not interested in going with our group, this is a wonderful group to see down there, the Collinsworth family. It's on Saturday, March the 31st. It's a 3 o'clock performance, and if you love Christian music, I won't even say gospel music, Christian music, they do a very unique blend of instrumental and vocal music.
I'm going to tell you what, George Kilgore has got it going on now. You know what's going on everywhere.
We're trying to keep up with it.
Put things together, and that's fantastic, because again, a lot of that is half of the problem when you're, maybe you're not tech savvy. Maybe, some of them necessarily aren't online a lot to be able to find those things. And that's something that, when you are kind of tuned in to what's going on like that can make a huge difference. Well,
I give God the glory for that. He's allowed me the ability and the talents to do it at this point in time, and I'm glad to do it. It's a humbling experience to do. One thing you said about getting word out, right around the first year, we started a new Facebook page for our senior adults, because the church has got a page and the church has got a group page, but we do a lot of activities with their senior adults, and I was hesitant about trying to not to overload the other pages with our information. But we created a new Facebook group page where it's just for our senior adults, and I can load it as much as I can.
Keep it full.
We've got a lot of pictures from trips we took when we started this ministry back in 2012, and I've been posting some of them from years past.
And if you want to keep up with that, by the way, I do. I'm on that all the time. I stalk them on a regular basis on there. But they've got some of the cutest pictures.
Oh, and now I'm hoping to make more. Like when we went to Memphis, I didn't make a lot of pictures. First of all, my phone was nearly full of pictures, but I didn't really have avenue to post them all to do what I'd like to. So then when I got back, I got to thinking, we'll just create this. So we got that approved to create that page. And so now, starting Thursday, I'm going to make a bunch of pictures and post on our Facebook page. It is seniors, all in capital letters, SENIORS, of FBC Princeton, Senior Ministry of FBC Princeton. So, check it out. Anybody that wants to join, if you get on there, I've sent out several invitations, but anybody that wants to join, just ask to join, and I'll approve you. Because
it don't cost a thing, does
not a thing, but it's Senior Ministries of FBC Princeton. And come, check it out and see what's going on. And we will list every activity we're planning on there, and it will be.
Well, and I just started to
listed.
say, sometimes you wonder about what to give as gifts or birthday presents or Valentine's Day, different things like that. Maybe with your grandparents, you go, man, they've got everything. What do I get them? Trips like that, that is a really good idea, I think, to pick up something like that as a gift.
Yes, we've actually had that happen. And before Christmas, I had a phone call from someone who had parents. They said, our parents go with y'all a lot. Where do y'all eat at? We want to get y'all maybe some certificates, gift certificates, get them some gift certificates where you usually eat at. And we've had some people that do it for Christmas or birthdays for their parents or grandparents, anniversaries or whatever. In fact, that's what I've done for my son and granddaughter for their Christmas with the ARC trip, since it was church-wide.
I love that.
And just paid for it and say, hey, you're paid for it. Just show up and go.
And I might add, if you've been nominated for Best of West Kentucky and you see this group coming in your parking lot, you might want to be really good to them, because that's 50 yes votes, right?
Yeah, it could very well be. I was going to ask you about the bus. Of course,
yes, sir.
the new bus has been on it was shining in all its glory right there on the lot. Was that out of need, a necessity for this group, or just the church needs in general?
It come necessity for our children's choirs.
Okay.
We was having to use 3 or 4 buses to do that, and 3 or 4 different drivers. The need come up without being able to have enough drivers to do for the children's choir for one vehicle that could transport everyone. Okay. And so that's where it come from, but it's being used for several other ministries also. Now for our group, it does not have air conditioning. School bus don't have air conditioning. So in the summer for senior adults, it's out.
Yeah.
And also we have found, we did take it to Memphis and we took it to the ARC. For adults, the school bus seats are made for smaller people, not full-size adults. And it gets a little cramped, so we're probably going to adjust our policy, use it for short activities like going to Dawson. We're going to use it for going to Paducah. But anything longer, we'll probably use our other buses for that. The only thing, it limits our numbers of people that can go. But the bus has been used for children's choir. Our youth department's using it. In fact, they're going to Winter Jam in Nashville Friday. They're going to take the big bus, and they've about got it filled. So one vehicle does that. So it has served several ministries of our church.
And
if you're overflowing tide, that's a great problem to have, isn't it?
No doubt. And then on these longer trips, you guys use one of your charters?
Yes. We charter for our longer one. Right now, I am putting the finishing touch on our big trip of the year. I haven't announced it yet. And
don't want to do that today.
Yeah, I do not want.
Doggone it.
I had to ask.
I was hoping.
I would get lynched if I'd done it. I've been asked. But I do pretty much have it together. And before we leave.
Is it warm? Are you going somewhere warm?
By June, hopefully it will be. It is in June. I've told them the dates. It is in June. But
should be in good shape on that.
We usually go the last week of May, the first week of June. And we will be going by charter bus on that. Thursday, we're going to the bingo and lunch at 10:15. I planned on announcing it then, but I've had several questions, and also I'm going to be there at 9:45 in our CLC building for anybody that wants to come early. I'll go ahead and tell them about it and answer questions. That way I'm not trying to do it and drive.
So it'll be revealed on Thursday
at
9:45
at our CLC building. And even if
I'm
you
going to
don't
have to plan a snitch down there.
Even if you're not going on the bingo trip, the lunch trip, you can come listen to our summer trip activities and then go on home. But we're going to do that at 9:45 because again, they're excited about doing something, and I will say it's going to be something totally different than we've done in the past.
Wow.
It's not going to be any repetition of anything or area we've been.
That.
So
that's pretty neat.
And then as we go on, after I get this one planned, we'll start working on April and on through the year. But we will have some of our trips are overnight, some are weekends, this one is a week-long trip. Our big trip, and some just like you said, a start-out trip, just a few hours during the day.
I think that's so much fun. God bless you. I think that is something that really makes a difference in our community to a lot of people. I really do.
And I would have to say I appreciate First Baptist for allowing this ministry. The church over the years has been very supportive of it, financially and prayerfully, and just supportive. And without that, it wouldn't be functioning.
You've got great support. Benji has become your sidekick, your son, and
yes.
he's part of the tour guide aspect. And then, of course, this is for everybody.
Yeah,
I've heard something too.
What's that?
Are you extra happy lately?
I am. Yes,
What?
Benji has turned 21, and he got his license. He's going into education. He's actually doing his student teaching at Union County this semester, and will be looking for a job after this, hopefully. And part of that, he went ahead and got his school bus driving license, so he is able to drive our church buses now.
Yeah.
So a lot of the trips, I'm able to sit back and enjoy part of that. In fact, we went to Memphis. He drove probably 90% of that trip.
How exciting is
It
that?
is.
Good for you
It
and him.
is, but
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. It would be difficult to do without him, because he's told me, he said, when I get a job, who knows? But God has honored the ministry, and he'll raise up some people to continue. But I know Benji will do it as long as he can. Some of the pictures I posted on our page he was for whatever age in 2012, but it's been 8 years
Wow,
ago.
yeah.
So, he was early teens, and some of his pictures then helping
That's
the
fantastic.
ladies around. But he's been a part of it since the beginning, so I can't thank him enough either.
That's awesome. I'm proud for you guys. I really am.
So the senior ministry at FBC is the Facebook page. Is that right?
FBC Princeton.
FBC
Senior is all capitals. Senior ministry at FBC, which is capital, First Baptist Church, Princeton. Senior ministry, FBC
That's
Princeton.
if you want to join the group
Yes.
or just go out and check out all the activities that are going on.
Sure,
there.
or they can call me, and I can get them hooked up on that. I'm fixing to start in on a email list, because everybody doesn't do Facebook.
Right.
That way they can get emails, so people can join up on that and send out mass emails for folks to be a part of it too.
Some of us are just Google challenged, George. We're not as good at it as you are.
Well, I'm limited.
I'm one of those people.
I am limited.
Well, we love it when you're in town, and we miss you when you're not. But
Well,
we
thank
sure are
you.
glad that you had time to come by today.
Yeah, and thank you all for having me.
Awesome ministry. Keep
Thank
it up.
you. Thank you all so much.
That's George Kilgore, First Baptist Church Senior Adult Ministry, and we're so glad to have him here and learn all about all the great stuff going on with that ministry at First Baptist Church.
I think that is actually a really important ministry. I think that that's such a great thing to have here in our community. And there's, people like me that look forward to being able to do that. Of course, you're a lot closer to being able to do that than
I'm getting there.
Can I
I just want to point that out.
add one more thing?
Yes, sir.
A couple of weeks ago, I got a call from another church in our area that said, "Hey, would you be willing to help us out? We're looking about maybe trying to go to the Ark." And I've always said God has given me this talent and ability to do, and I'll be glad to help any church that says, "Hey, we want to start our own. We want to do something just with our group." I'll be glad to help you with that. And that's what I told this individual that contacted me. And they're in the process of trying to get a trip to the Ark together. And anything that we've done is so simple to say, hey, this is what we've done. And, you can base off that or do your own. But I would be willing to help any organization or church to do something like that.
And see, I love that, because a lot of people would say, well, I don't go to First Baptist and I can't be involved in that because that's not my church. I love that that's one of the first things out of your mouth is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's, I think, awesome.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you, we've had a great coffee talk today, and I love kind of finishing that out on a high note with that.
No doubt
and
about it.
The weather for over the next couple of days, not necessarily great traveling weather, but I will say I think I could go play some bingo.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. It sounds like a great trip that they'll be on up
Yes.
to Penny Ralph Forest State
I
Park.
want to know though. I want somebody to snitch on them on Thursday, because you can't tell me that I can't know and then not expect me to drive you nuts.
That's right. That's exactly right.
It will be posted on the page.
There we
There
go.
we go.
As quick as I get back
Pictures
Thursday,
included.
There we
I will
go.
put the details of our upcoming trip on the
I'm like a
fantastic.
2-year-old. If you tell me I can't do something, that's what I want to do. Hey, it is 8:57 with Tess and Ty, and let's check in just a second. One more time with the weather.
And here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast. And watch out for that patchy fog this morning. Still some lingering around. Should dissipate later. Otherwise cloudy today. A high near 39. A chance of rain before midnight tonight. Now you could see it mixed with some snow overnight. Low 32. Fog and snow flurries early tomorrow. So watch out on your commute. Mixing with rain as it's going to warm up to about a high of 40. Any accumulation that you see may be light. Chance of rain and snow mixed Wednesday night. Should be ending by midnight. Low 29. And then Thursday partly sunny. A high near 42. Again for today, watch out for that patchy fog this morning. Otherwise cloudy, a high 39. Holding steady at about 30 and cloudy at 8:58 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Herb Hayes Furniture.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
Did you know 7 out of 10 people overspent during the holidays and are now worried about recovering from this?
If you're one of the 7, don't worry, we can help at ABC Finance.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location,
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
and we can help you recover from the holidays with easy payments you can afford.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call and we will take your application over the phone.